This is the David Lloyd Tennis School at intosport.com. In this guide, we'll introduce you to the forehand volley. A volley is played before the ball bounces, so you don't have to worry about the bounce and whether the ball has spin on it, but you will have to develop good footwork to get to the ball more quickly. The basic volley is played close to the net, and if possible, when it's still above the height of the net. Hitting it from above the height of the net means that the ball can be hit down into your opponent's court, making it more difficult for them to return the ball. Since the volley is played close to the net, you need to know how to get to the net in the first place. So let's look at a scenario in singles and doubles. In singles, it's usually because during a rally, your opponent hit a shorter ball landing around the service line or even closer to the net instead of close to the baseline. This means you have to move forwards to return that ball, and then you can move up to the net to volley the next shot. Try to think of the volley as an opportunity to win the point outright. In doubles, one player from each pair normally stands forwards in the court, near the net. When you volley from this position, there's less movement needed to get into place to play the shot. For the doubles player that serves or returns serve, coming to the net will be normally in response to a shorter ball which is played in the mid-court before arriving near the net to volley. As you move up the court, you'll hit the ball with either your forehand or backhand ground stroke, but when you volley, you need to have a continental grip, and you use this for both forehand and backhand volleys. The easiest way to find the continental grip is to hold the racket as if you were using the edge of the frame as the blade of an axe. If you're right-handed, hold the racket with the edge of the frame pointing at the ground, and make sure the base of the V between your thumb and index finger is to the left of the center of the handle. For left-handed players, the V should be the right of center. The volley is a very short action. Some people liken it to a punch action. To do this though, you need to be balanced. Get to a ready position about 2 meters away from the net. Make sure your feet are about shoulders width apart and the racket is at waist to shoulder height in front of you, with your elbows extended. Check you have a continental grip. Right, now you're prepared and in place. Let's look at hitting a forehand volley. Turn your shoulders slightly away from the ball and then simply shift your weight forwards and extend your arm towards the ball. Keep your wrist firm as the ball makes contact with your racket and use your free arm to help balance. Try to keep your racket head above your wrist because this will keep your wrist in a strong position. Remember that the ball is traveling fast, so you need to meet it in a strong position. The action is a short, sharp contact with the ball, with your racket moving forwards and downwards. And unlike normal ground strokes, you don't need to swing the racket back before contact. If the ball has dropped below the height of the net, you'll need to adjust your position slightly. Bend your knees so you can still keep the racket head up and your wrist in a strong position, and aim to contact the ball to the side and in front of your body, punching the ball down into the court. After contact, your racket head should follow the ball and your front foot should move forwards to rebalance you. Aim to direct the ball away from your opponent, making their return as challenging as possible. You can volley down the line, cross court, or back at your opponent's feet. Next, you need to be ready in case your opponent returns the ball, so move back after the volley so that you're about 2 meters from the net again. Move quickly into the basic ready position with your racket head up and in a continental grip again quickly. Your opponent may hit a return that you can volley again, but let's also look at other shots that your opponent might hit when you're at the net. They may try to lob you, lifting the ball over your head. When this happens, you might be able to smash. You can find out more about the smash and the lob in this series of videos. Your opponent may also try to pass you with the return. If this happens, you need to move diagonally sideways and forwards along the net to cut off the opponent's return. As always, recover quickly to the middle of the court, around 2 meters behind the net and in a good ready position. So that's the forehand volley. Let's recap. The forehand volley is hit close to the net and before the ball bounces. Hold the racket with a continental grip and remember that the volley action is short with very little backswing and a very short follow-through. Make sure your weight moves forward as you hit the ball, using an action that's similar to a short, sharp punch. Contact the ball to the side and slightly in front of your body and try to hit the ball down into the opponent's court. So having learned how to volley on the forehand side, now watch the practice and drills before having a look at the backhand volley and the other variations of the volley in the David Lloyd Tennis School at intosport.com. Intosport.com, the home of world-class sports coaching online.